if someone doesn't give you obvious signs of their interest, I would hesitate to infer that from their actions. This is something that many of us do in life, where somebody will be a bit, let's say, underhanded when trying to convey their interest in us, or they may not be interested in us at all, and we can mistake their actions for being signs of interest. For instance, a great example that ends up happening quite often nowadays is people will assume that somebody who constantly checks their Instagram story is actually interested in them. But you can't always make that assumption, because sometimes the person may not actually be interested in you, and they're just doing that because maybe it's a habit of theirs. They just scroll through everybody's stories because they have nothing better to do with their time. Or they could just be trying to do that to stay a part of your life, to kind of keep you as a side option down the road. But if they're not making obvious signs that show their interest, for instance, asking you out on a date or inviting you out, then you can't really infer interest from their actions, because keeping you in their life isn't the same thing as trying to go after you, trying to pursue you romantically. But also, one thing I truly believe in here is you should want someone who has the courage to be more honest and upfront and authentic. And those people are going to make it obvious that they're interested in you. They aren't going to be viewing your stories and occasionally messaging you. They're going to ask you out and make it obvious. They're likely going to say things like, hey, I would love to catch up with you and meet up with you in person, whatever. And then when you actually go out, it'll be quite apparent that it's a date. They may even just say that they're inviting you out on a date. I mean, that's ideally the best route, of course. That's the most honest route. But sometimes, I get it, in today's world, things are a bit muddled. So sometimes they may just say, hey, I would love to meet up with you here, whatever it may be. I won't go into how many different ways someone can ask you out on a date. But my point is, they will make it more obvious. And then when they're actually out on the date with you, they'll likely compliment you or seem really interested in you via their actions, by asking you things about yourself, asking you questions to get to know you better. That's really one of the best signs that somebody's interested in you. If they keep using their own time to get to know you better, then they're interested in you. If they're constantly curious about you and your life and your personality, they're interested in you. That's something I do all the time on dates. I will be asking the woman a lot of questions about her, getting to know her. Obviously, it won't be like an interview. I'll be interjecting with statements here and there and that sort of thing. So it's not like I'm just going question after question. But my point is, I won't be talking about myself much. I'll be asking her about herself. I'll be trying to get to know her better. I won't make it about me. So if somebody's asking you a lot of things about yourself and making the conversation about you, they're probably interested in you. And if they're talking a whole lot about themselves, they may not be all that interested in you, or they're just shy and nervous, or they're trying to impress you and they don't know how to connect with you on a deeper level due to insecurities. But it's an obvious sign when somebody is taking the time and making the effort to get to know you better. That conveys interest, and especially if they keep wanting to meet up with you in person. So if somebody is giving you all these little pseudo signs of interest, like viewing your Instagram stories, sending you messages here and there, but they never ask to reach or to meet with you in person, then don't interpret all those little actions as signs of interest, because they may not actually be. Or, like I said earlier, it may just be the person keeping you around as an option in their life, but they're not actually pursuing you. So don't give them the time of day. You don't want to be anybody's second option or third option or fourth option. You should want to be somebody's first option. So for these people, do not keep them around. Go after the people who give you obvious signs of their interest, people who want to learn more about you, people who ask you out without being shy or anything like that. And by the way, for those of you who are shy, I highly suggest you work on that. And I've made a few videos in the past on confidence, but really the main thing for working on shyness is just caring less what others think about you. That's the main thing that holds people up when they're shy. They care way too much what people think, so they just won't state what's on their mind. They won't share their opinions because they don't want to be judged. So work on caring less about what others think of you and be more confident. It'll help you tremendously with your relationships. This is more advice for guys than women, but seriously, men, you should all work on your confidence, because if you have the courage to be honest and authentic with women, oh boy, will they appreciate it. Women love that. One of the easiest ways to get friend zoned is not having the confidence to be straightforward and just to ask her out. Tell her, hey, I find you attractive. I would love to learn more about you, get to know you better. Let's go to this coffee shop on this day and have a great time. Like that, speaking like that will just really help you out with women. And that was one of the main things that helped me out. So seriously, gents, work on your confidence. It will change your life. But anyway, it really is important that you don't misinterpret signs that aren't obvious. Just in general, try to just ignore them. If the person isn't making it obvious, they could be playing games, or like I said earlier, they could be keeping you around as a second option. And you just don't want that. You should want people who are more honest and authentic and upfront, because they make for better relationship partners. That's the whole goal here, right? If you're dating someone, your goal is to get into a relationship with them eventually, right? Or maybe you're dating for fun, but that's different. I'm talking about when your goal is a relationship here, because you should want people who are great communicators, and the people who are honest and authentic are usually better communicators than the ones who don't do that, the ones who are a bit more shady or use underhanded methods to convey their interests, and they just don't make it obvious because they may be playing games and doing stupid manipulative crap or things like that. So in general, go after the people who are more honest and authentic. They will make for way better relationship partners, and it just makes things easy because they won't leave you guessing about where they stand. They're going to make it obvious that they actually like you, they'd like to get to know you better, and they want to keep you in their life. It's not going to be one of those situations where you're left guessing how that person feels about you. I made a video on that in the past, and basically if somebody plays with your emotions, you should let them go, because the right people aren't going to do that. They're not going to leave you wondering where you stand with them. They're going to make it obvious and apparent. So in general, go after the people like that. And the rest of them, just don't even interpret their signs or their actions as signs of interest if they don't make it obvious. Just don't even play that game. It's dumb. Just go after the people who are honest and upfront. But anyway, I'm starting to repeat myself here, so I'm going to end the video here. By now you should hopefully understand what I'm driving at. But if you have any other questions, just feel free to leave a comment. And in general, if you enjoyed the video, the easiest way you can support me is just to like, comment, and share. And I will see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci.